guys, this is Monday and I'm back with yet another video. Tell me you guys one thing. Have you ever felt so annoyed because you're surrounded by the world's biggest idiots? You know, while you're driving, you're the one who's always gets stuck with honking people. Or when you're in the class, the teacher always picks on you and asks you to stand up and narrates the whole class. When you keep something in your room and you're never able to find it in the first time, especially like the USB cable. Have you tried to put it? No, never can you put it on the first go. Isn't that really annoying? It happens with me all the time. So today I'm going to talk about some of the basic thinking patterns that we all adapt from time to time that really affects our behavior and then in turn our decisions and ends up making us feel really bad. So let's get started.
Before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
Number one is called all or none, which means that this kind of thinking is very binary. Like it's either 0 or 1. It's either black or white. There is no gray area. I always end up texting him first. He never understands me. She is always late. She's never on time. That guy always gets some weird food. Never sleeps at night. It's always so grumpy. So what happens with that? You don't give benefit or doubt to the other person who might fall into the gray area. It close up many possibilities for the same situation. It leaves you feel very annoyed or upset. Not a very good feeling to have. Okay, so number 2 is overgeneralization. You know, like a guy once ghosted me in Yahoo Messengers back in 1989, so I don't trust the internet anymore. Well, that might be a good thing to do actually. You uninstall an app because of one bad experience. Don't trust a person because once they betray the trust and so you assume that the person is not trustworthy. You know what I'm getting at. Overgeneralization is kind of thing where because of one or twice bad experiences, you kind of generalize it to the entire person. Like if your neighbor once didn't lend you a card, you kind of assume that person is not a very good neighbor. You find like one cigarette butt in your child's room and you assume the person is like smoking all the time. Like you're applying mathematical induction but for real situations. So that what happens with overgeneralization? It kind of blocks your perceptions and views of people. Even if the person behaves differently the other time, you won't even notice it. So number 3 is disqualifying the positive. Tell me one thing. Do you really believe when your boyfriend says that you don't look fat in that dress? No, you don't. He doesn't count. He's just trying to avoid a fight, right? That's actually true. Most of the times when somebody we love or care gives us a compliment, we actually don't believe that, you know, because we just assume that they're saying all those stuff to make us feel better and they're hiding the truth from us or sugarcoating the reality, and we tend to ignore that and disqualify that. So this is kind of one of the thinking patterns that usually consume us, and we only tend to believe people who say negative things about us. So what happens if you do this frequently? You end up being that grumpy person who cannot take a compliment properly and who's not that cheerful, who always expects negative things, and you tend to become the negative person that you assume you are, and nobody likes that in their lives. You end up lowering your self-worth for yourself and for others around you. So you just need to take more compliments. Number 4 is jumping to conclusion. Okay, this is my favorite because we all know what that means. We jump to conclusions very easily. We just see one thing and we'll just assume the worst. Like if somebody is not picking up your call, you just assume that they're dead behind some touch. Or if somebody is late, assume that they've been kidnapped. Your crush is just dressing up nice, you kind of assume it's for you. If your crush by any chance likes somebody else's photo, you can assume that he has a thing for them. All these examples are when you just assume something and you just directly jump into conclusions without thinking or knowing the entire reality of the situation, you know. And from the time that you've concluded and you actually know what the reality is, the entire time you either spend worrying about it or you are spent in anger or you just have a lot of stress or paranoia, and the entire time, and all that time is just a waste. You can just pick up the phone and you ask the person why they did it, or Why are they behaving in a certain way instead of just blankly jumping into conclusion? Come on, the top 4 distortions, cognitive thinking patterns that I had to share with you today. So leave in the comment section below how many of them that you've actually applied in your life and holds true for you too, and share me some good examples because I'm really running out of them. And okay, yeah, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, share with all your friends, and I'll be back next Monday with a part 2, and this Thursday stay tuned to my Guwahati videos. So yeah, share, like, comment below and subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, thank you. Bye.